They're flying their organization's flag in his district, and Joe Biden stands here and says it's just an idea. It's just an idea. This is why I'm out here supporting Laura Loomer for Congress. We need people who are unafraid to call out left-wing domestic terrorism for what it is, and that is Laura Loomer.
A fighter is running for Congress, and her name is Laura Loomer. She spent her career taking on the political establishment as an investigative journalist. Laura Loomer stands independent and will serve Florida, not the political parties or special interests. She won't just stand by your side. Laura Loomer will fight for you and your family. On November 3rd, send a woman to Washington who fights for you, not political parties.
I'm Laura Loomer, and I approve this message.
45 million senior citizens rely on Social Security and Medicare. These life-saving benefits pay for food, utility bills, health care, and medicine. Our seniors have earned their benefits through decades of sweat and sacrifice. But without a healthy American workforce that replenishes these programs, Social Security and Medicare cease to exist. And there's only one way to fix it: jobs. Who do you trust to rebuild America's economy? This is a serious question. If you relied on those benefits, if your life literally depended on it, who would you trust? Nancy Pelosi's Democrat Party is still fighting to keep our businesses closed. Laura Loomer is running for Congress, and she will fight to get Florida's economy back on track. Laura Loomer will work to protect America's seniors and the life-saving benefits they receive. On November 3rd, vote to save our jobs and our seniors. Vote for Laura Loomer for Congress.
I'm Laura Loomer, and I approve this message.
While American communities were ravaged by riots and looting, our nation needed leadership from Congress. Instead, Democrats introduced a bill that's nothing more than a backdoor move to defund our police. And where did Congresswoman Lois Frankel stand on the bill? She co-sponsored it. Republican congressional candidate Laura Loomer stands with our police and will fight any move to take them off the street. On November 3rd, vote to stand with our police. Vote for Laura Loomer for Congress.
Lois Frankel isn't a happy ruler. You see, Lois thinks of herself as the Queen of Palm Beach. She votes on the bills, she waves to the people, she kisses the babies, and she eats her cupcakes. But behind the scenes, Lois Frankel clings to power, knowing that for the past 8 years in Congress, she hasn't done squat for Floridians. And now Frankel is furious that a young Jewish woman is making her work to keep her throne of lies. Frankel is so angry about being challenged in Congress that she's working to ban campaign ads, just like this. Frankel is so arrogant in her position of power, she won't even say the name of the feisty woman running against her. But that woman, her name is Laura Loomer. Laura isn't sitting back eating cupcakes. She's storming the gates. Laura Loomer is fighting to give Floridians their voice and vote back after 8 years of being ignored by lazy Lois Frankel. On November 3rd, force Frankel to say her name. Vote for Laura Loomer.
I'm Laura Loomer, and I approve this message. Hi, my name is Laura Loomer, and I'm running for Congress as a Republican in Florida's 21st Congressional District, which is home to President and Mrs. Trump. I have a big hill to climb to succeed, and I hope that the Hindu community will help me get to Congress. Hinduism is already the 4th largest religion in America, and in many ways, American Hindus are the model for successful immigration. The Hindu community in America is a tolerant, forward-thinking, law-abiding, and highly educated minority. America has welcomed Hindus with open arms, and you have become exemplary American citizens with incredible track records in education and incredible success in business. But with those increasing numbers and with your newfound wealth come responsibilities. And it's time to make your voices heard politically to ensure that America stays and remains the land of promise and opportunity that you and your families know and love. I have been a strident critic of radical Islamism and the barbarism of this vicious ideology ever since I entered public life. In Congress, I will fight hard against Islamic terrorism, the evil that has committed so many atrocities against Hindus in Kashmir, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and many other parts of India. I will take on the Squad head-on and the Democrat Party, who panders to Islam instead of confronting it head-on. And I will always work to ensure that America's prosperity and freedom are protected for generations to come. I hope that you will help me on that journey. If you would like to donate to my campaign or sign up to volunteer, please visit lauraloomerforcongress.com today. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
What if you could keep your whole Social Security check and never pay $1 in taxes on it? You know it's possible. It's fair, too. You've paid taxes your whole life while building this country for future generations. Think about it. What sort of Social Security is it, really, when the government sends out checks and then wants the money back in taxes, 50 or even 85% of it? There is one way you may be able to keep your whole check and pay no taxes. How? Well, congressional candidate Laura Loomer could get her way. There's nothing to buy. You don't need to call any 800 number. No operator is standing by. All you have to do is vote for Laura. Laura Loomer supports making Social Security tax-free. Completely, absolutely tax-free. She thinks you've earned every penny Social Security sends you. On November 3rd, vote Laura Loomer for Congress and free the Social Security system.
I'm Laura Loomer, and I approve this message.
Lois Frankel loves Black Lives Matter. That is Meshuggah. Black Lives Matter is a part of an Islamic and socialist coalition that says Israel is guilty of genocide against the Palestinian people. Israel, guilty of genocide. Okay, Lois. This coalition with Black Lives Matter, they want the United States to stop all military aid to Israel. But that doesn't stop Gornished Lois from kneeling to them. Maybe she thinks if she makes nice, they'll be nice to Jews in the end. Sound familiar? Lois Frankel talks Michigas. She's incapable of protecting the Jewish community or Israel. Laura Loomer will stand against prejudice and stand up for Israel. On November 3rd, vote to defend Israel. Vote for a real
Stand
mensch.
against
Vote
prejudice
Laura
and
Loomer
stand
for
up
United
for
States
Israel.
Congress.
Are you a racist? Do you have ties to the Ku Klux Klan and believe in crazy conspiracy theories? Of course not. But that's what Lois Frankel's Washington friends are saying about congressional candidate Laura Loomer. And if you oppose them, they'll say it about you. Lois Frankel is a do-nothing politician who has spent 8 years in Congress with nothing to show for it. Did she deliver on her promises to protect Medicare for our seniors or anything else? Nope, the woman literally did nothing, aside from hang out with those Washington elites. Lois Frankel earned the nickname Lazy Lois because she has done absolutely nothing for Florida voters. And if you call her out on it, she'll smear you just like she did her vibrant Jewish opponent, Laura Loomer, by calling her a white supremacist. That's just shameful. Laura Loomer is ready to work for Floridians. On November 3rd, vote for integrity. Vote for Laura Loomer.
Congressional candidate Laura Loomer is headed to Congress. This terrifies the establishment politicians in Washington. And now they're working hand in hand with the media to slander her with lies.
This week, the ranks of Republican congressional nominees who are bigots and conspiracy theorists grew with the victory in Florida of Laura Loomer.
Washington politicians fear Laura Loomer for one simple reason. She's a fighter. Laura Loomer doesn't serve political parties or special interests. As a journalist, she exposed corrupt politicians in Washington. And as a congresswoman, she won't stop. And they won't stop attacking her because they know that this young Jewish woman will expose all of them while serving all Floridians. On November 3rd, send a fighter to Congress. Vote for Laura Loomer.
Hey everybody, Laura Loomer here. So as you can see, it is 11:13 at night on Sunday, August 16th, okay? Everybody sees this. You see the time, you see the date, August 16th. The primary election in Florida is August 18th. We are about 48 hours away from the election. Polls open on the 18th, which is a Tuesday, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., okay? Internal polling data shows that majority of the Republican voters in District 21 are planning on voting on Election Day, which is August 18th, as I just said. So, I would like to know why election results are already being reported if the election is 48 hours away from now. And you may be asking yourselves, well, what do you mean? Why are the election results already being reported? I'll show you. So, one of the local news stations here in Palm Beach County where I'm running for Congress is CBS 12. So let's go to their news station, okay? CBS 12 News. Here's their news page. Here's the drop-down bar, okay? Scroll down. News, okay? What does that say? It says election results, okay? So we're on the CBS 12 News website. We click the news tab bar, and now we're going to click election results. When you click election results, oh, wow, it says 100% of precincts reporting. They already have the election called. They're already reporting the results of the Florida primary on August 18th, 48 hours prior to the primary even taking place. This is not okay. This is beyond fake news. This is a form of voter suppression and election interference. It's criminal. If you scroll down to the race in District 21 where I'm running for Congress, it shows me as receiving 2% of the vote, okay, and it already has all of the races called with my opponents ahead of me. How is this possible if voters haven't even voted yet? Technically speaking, even if the absentee ballots had come in and early voting had come in, you're not allowed to legally open up ballots until Election Day. So we already ran the numbers to see, because you can see from the supervisor's office how many ballots and how many votes have been casted. And it's way less than the total number of votes that are listed here in CBS 12 News, their total calculation of the election results prior to the election even happening. So this is egregious. My campaign and I contacted CBS News 12 and we asked to speak to the news director. We spoke to the assignment desk and they called the news director, and the news director is refusing to take this down, and he's also refusing to speak to me and refusing to speak to my strategist, Karen Giorno. So they are aware that they are suppressing voters. They are aware that they are committing election fraud. They are aware that they are perpetuating fake news and causing people to think that the election is over 48 hours before the election takes place, but they don't care, because this is what they want. Because if they actually cared and they didn't want to report fake news, then they would delete this, because it's obvious fake news and it's criminal voter suppression. So I just want all of you to see this, because when CBS tries to spin this in the magical way that they come up with in their PR room, they're going to try to say that this is some type of test. But logically speaking, if you were going to have a test ahead of Election Day, wouldn't you use fake names? Or wouldn't you have a test that was private within your own system so that only your employees could see it? Why would you make the election results public for the entire district to see prior to the election taking place? This is fraud, and someone's going to get sued over this. Mark my word.
Mientras las comunidades americanas eran asoladas por disturbios y saqueos, nuestra nación necesitaba el liderazgo del Congreso. En su lugar, los demócratas presentaron un proyecto de ley que no es más que un movimiento de puerta trasera para desfinanciar nuestra policía local. ¿Y qué opina la congresista Louise Frankel sobre el proyecto de ley? Ella lo copatrocinó. La candidata republicana al Congreso, Laura Loomer, está de pie con nuestra policía y luchará contra cualquier movimiento para sacarlos de la calle. El 18 de agosto, voten por la ley y el orden. Voten por Laura Loomer en las primarias republicanas.
Hey everybody, Laura Loomer here, the Republican frontrunner candidate for Congress in Florida's 21st Congressional District, which is home to President Trump and Mrs. Trump. As many of you know, I am the most banned woman in the world. I am literally banned on every single social media site. Payment processors like PayPal and Venmo and even GoFundMe have banned me. I'm banned on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, Uber, Lyft, Uber Eats. That's right, I can't even order food. The list goes on and on and on. Even Chase Bank has temporarily shut down my online access to my bank account. And as a candidate for Congress who has raised over $1 million and, like I said, is the front runner, my campaign is still being denied access to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and PayPal. We are the only deplatformed campaign in the nation. Up until this point, my campaign has found ways to work around that. But today, a drastic escalation happened, and I'm making this video to document it so that you see that the censorship has moved from the big tech social media companies to the telecommunication companies themselves. we use text campaigns to reach out to people because, like I said, I can't use social media. And today, when I went to go approve my text campaign for today to make sure that there were no typos and that everything was set to go out to my supporters for my fundraising email, this is the message that came through on my phone. So just so that you understand what you're looking at, the message says potential threat detected. And this is the link that somebody would receive if they got my text message that said, hey, it's Laura Loomer. Matt Gaetz just endorsed my campaign. Check out what he said here. And then they would click on a landing page that was sent to them in a text message, and it would take them to the page. But the first thing that they see upon getting that is potential threat detected. So if you get something on your phone that says potential threat detected, you're likely not going to want to click on it because you're going to be concerned about what that threat is, right? So you can see. So now I just want to show you all how the telecommunications companies, and this is Xfinity that we're on right now. You click on it, and it's supposed to go, you saw it's supposed to go to my campaign page, and it says we've blocked access. So Xfinity is now blocking access to my campaign donation pages and my campaign website, and they're calling it dangerous. So again, I'm going to do this again for you to see right here. Okay, you see I just opened up my text. This is real, this is happening, this is not a hoax, this is not a conspiracy. I'm clicking on the link. Okay, we have blocked access. This site might compromise your device or contain dangerous content. To avoid these risks, close the window and skip this site. So I would love to know, Facebook not only banned me and labeled me a dangerous individual, but now it looks like Xfinity, which is not a social media company, Xfinity Comcast is one of the largest internet providers in the country, okay? And in Palm Beach County, it's one of the only choices that you have. In Palm Beach County, where I'm running for Congress, one of the only choices you have as a cable and internet provider is Xfinity Comcast. And now Xfinity Comcast is blocking my campaign links, my donation pages, and my website to my constituency. So this is an insane escalation. Now conservatives are not only being targeted by the big tech social media companies, but also by the telecommunication firms, which proves that we need serious antitrust legislation in this country right now. This is extreme election interference.
today?
So we're here at Church of the Nazarene, and we're helping Pastor Mateo and his wife with a food bank for the Haitian community here in District 21. And right now we're putting together boxes of food to give out to families in need, because already there's already a hunger problem here in the district, but when you add on unemployment with COVID-19 and lockdowns and businesses being shut down, there's a lot of hungry families, especially a hunger problem here in the district. So when you add on Loomer for Congress volunteer team, we have 10 volunteers, and we're going to be helping out with the food bank, and we're also going to be helping register people to vote. Elections coming up, and we're going to make sure to, and we're going to be helping out with the food bank, and we're also going to be helping exercising their right to vote. Hey everybody, Laura Loomer here. I'm a Republican candidate for Congress in Florida's 21st Congressional District. I just want to say thank you to Pastor Mateo and his wife, Marlene. We're here. I'm a Republican candidate.